Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another great, super cool radio interview. I'm your host, as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I got an awesome guest joining me at this time. Very excited to chat with him. He's an actor and musician who has appeared in Trading Paint and the 2018 Halloween movie. Plus, he recently released a new single and music video for Doom, and he's going on tour with Buckcherry and Skid Row starting on August 31st. Please welcome Kurt Deimer.
What's up, everybody? Peace to all of you out there.
That's right. It's awesome to have you on the podcast. As I said, I'm very excited to chat with you. I know we got so much to discuss, and it's just awesome to have you on.
Well, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate you being on your show and you promoting Kurt Deimer to the world. Thank you, man.
Of course. And before we start diving into, as I said, you got the new single out, you got the upcoming tour. Before we do that, I got a fun question that I've been asking my guests this season. If you could have dinner with any two musicians, living or deceased, who would they be?
Living or deceased, any two musicians. Jimmy Page and David Bowie.
Very nice.
I'd love to pick his brain on how he did all the things he did. And Jimmy Page is just one of a kind. So, yeah, those would be the two right now at the top of my head.
Very nice. Two fantastic answers. Both just awesome musicians, just all around. Especially David Bowie, who has done so many styles of music, yet he made it all work. It's truly incredible.
I know that's what I really appreciate about him. He could just do anything, and he wasn't afraid to be who he was. And you never knew what persona he might take on. And when we get to headline someday, once everybody knows who we are, I'll probably be doing a lot of stuff like David Bowie did, because he's very influential. And being an actor, I'm not afraid to try anything. So.
Hey, right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing like how you kind of evolve with your music and your style. But I did want to talk about, kind of starting at the beginning of you starting your music and acting career. Like, what came first? Like, how did you start that?
Well, I was in music when I was younger until I was about 20-ish, 21-ish, right in there, just kind of playing around Cincinnati. I went to University of Cincinnati for college. At the time, I was kind of taking the slow route through school, just kind of screwing around, playing in a band. And then I ended up meeting my kid's mom, and we got married, and I raised a family. Figured out a lot of different things personally, and then started my own oil companies in 1999 from scratch, with my own funds I raised by buying and selling rental properties. And did that while I was raising my kids. And I just said, if I can get back into music someday and it's the right time and I can do it the right way, the way I want to do it, and be able to fight the battle, then I might do it someday. I don't know. So in 2017, my oil brand Starfire was being featured in a movie called Trading Paint, as we were on the racing uniforms and signage and stuff. And I got offered to do a cameo to go present the check to the winner in the winner's circle. And I'm down there just hanging out on the set, and they start taking pictures of me and shit. And all of a sudden, I'm being offered a speaking role in the movie, joining SAG-AFTRA. And then an hour later, after learning my lines, I'm with John Travolta, planning out this scene. Like, what the hell is going on with me? And then Shania Twain and I are just standing there next to each other. That was crazy. And just a normal night, I guess, at the track. And I got left there, and I'm like, I was just in a movie. And I didn't even know I was going to be in a movie like that. And had a speaking line with Toby Sebastian from Game of Thrones. And so I left that night with a new outlook on maybe this is the time. Maybe that was my sign to get back into my creative side that I've suppressed starting these other companies. And a couple months later, I got the role in Halloween to get killed by Michael Myers, another speaking line. And that was on 3 months after, January after Trading Paint in September. And then that movie came out in October of the same year. 2018, and here I am on the red carpet in Hollywood at the Chinese Theater with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm like, what the hell? So then I started getting other acting, little smaller roles down in Alabama, and that's when I met, through a couple of my associates down there, Ben Trexel out of Birmingham, a musician out of Birmingham, Alabama, and he had these 3 songs that I said, let me try my vocals on, because I think I can add some spice to it. You know, I'm different, my voice is different, and I hadn't sung since I was 20. So the beginning of 2000, end of 18, beginning of 19, we recorded these 3 demos. Loved it so much, we kept writing, and I ended up putting together a demo album along with Ben, which we originally took to David Bendeth up in the Northeast, and he put it together into a format where I could eventually take it to LA. And right before COVID hit, I ended up still doing the little acting thing, trying to get other roles. I ended up in Los Angeles to get a little studio and just kind of set up my roots and see where the music could go with this demo I had. And my manager at the time, we got hooked up with Chris Lord-Alge, said he'd take a look at it. Things were a little slow, it was COVID. And he took it and made the songs what they were originally when I was under the name Bald Man. And there was this one song, Have a Cigar, that we had done a little cover layout on from Pink Floyd. And I didn't really like it that much, but Ben was adamant. And Chris said, let me show you what I can do with this Have a Cigar with your voice. And then I heard this guitar solo. I said, man, this is pretty wicked. And come to find out, the guitarist was Phil X. So that's how I met Phil X. Excuse me. And we ended up shooting the music video that August. Chris and I have become great personal friends, and he kind of took me under his wing, and I've pretty much learned how to be a vocalist again, how to use my voice the way it is, kind of under the tutelage of Chris Lord-Alge in his studio. And now my current manager, Brian Wheat, who's the bass player from Tesla, we go to his studio, and they both believe in me, and Brian helps me fight the battles in the music business, and here we are. So that's kind of how it all started.
Oh no, right on. Even just in that short, time period up until like 2017 to now, you've done definitely so much, and you've definitely, like the Have a Cigar cover, which it was very different from the original. I really enjoyed it, just because of how like different it was.
Yeah, it's such a great song by Pink Floyd, and whenever I do a cover, I don't want to do a disservice to the original artist. I want to pay them homage, and I want to let them know, hey, your song is so kick-ass, but here's my interpretation the way I would do it, and that's the way I'll always do covers. It's stupid just to do them the same way that the original great creator did it. So.
No, exactly. It had a just awesome take on it, and I really enjoyed it. And the Halloween movie had one of the definitely the most grisly looking kills, just with the prosthetics and just how you died in Halloween was amazing.
Yeah, that was Christopher Nelson, who was in the movie too, and he made the mask for those 3. He had me in the chair for a couple hours and put a full prosthetic on my face. I think that's the reason why I got the roles, because I didn't know what to expect, and they're like, we'll get this guy in here and he won't care if we sit. I had to walk around with a towel on my head all day because we were out at a gas station in South Carolina somewhere, and they didn't want anybody to see my face. And I'm sitting in the gas station where I got killed with James Jude Courtney, Michael Myers. We're just talking about our cats and our families, and I'm just sitting here with this. And then when I had to go on the counter there where the teeth came out of my mouth and shit, I had to literally lay like that for like 3 hours. And they kept going, you need to, I go, just keep moving my legs. They're getting a little numb, but don't move me because that'll ruin all. And they were taking pictures. I ended up in a prosthetics magazine for the film. It was just crazy, man. I think it ended up being one of the epic kills of Michael Myers. One of the grossest. And, I'm on the short list from the real franchise of people that have been killed by Michael Myers in that franchise. So it's a kind of a big honor, really.
Oh no, it definitely was. And again, just just watching that, just you in the scene, and talking about afterwards. So you're just hanging out with, like, part of your jaw, just not not
Oh
connected.
yeah, I couldn't eat it. I mean, that thing was around, my mouth was inside what they made it look, and just sip on Coke. I had some cans of Coke and sip through a straw until they finally got it off that night. So it was all day like that.
Wow. Wow, I mean, it looked amazing, and again, the you're seeing it was really cool as well. But yeah, I definitely,
Yeah, and David Gordon, they had a dummy to put on the gurney going out. I go, why would you use this dummy? You did this face. I sat in this chair for 3 hours. I sat in the makeup for 2. I go, zip me up in the bag. You get another shot. And they were all like, really? I'm like, yeah, zip me up, roll me out. You got all this invested in this prosthetic, and that's how it all came about. So
nice,
they were so,
nice.
David Gordon Green goes, all right, let's do this. So,
Oh, that is so cool. All right, so the big reason I do want to chat with you, coming up to present day for you now, you recently released a killer new single and music video for Doom. How was it like writing and recording Doom? I heard this will be part of a upcoming movie you're developing, Hellbilly Hollow, as well.
yeah, Hellbilly Hollow's out being shopped right now. We're not sure how it's going to come out yet, but it's definitely coming. And I wrote Doom as like the big moment at the end of the movie, which I don't want to give it away, but because it's a franchise and we'll continue to make more Hellbilly Hollow 2, 3, whatever. Once the first one gets out, it's kind of like the original Halloween. That was my inspiration, and now we'll get a studio behind it and make them even bigger and badder. But yeah, I wrote Doom for that for the movie Hellbilly Hollow for this big moment, and I had written lyrics and whatnot and had a vibe for it, and I wrote it with Phil X and sent it over to him, and then we did some tweaking on it with my new manager Brian Wheat and Chris Lord Algie out at the studio, and that's the version you hear today. And we're going to be playing it live everywhere on tour, and I just think it's a kick-ass song. In fact, I'm thinking about on tour videotaping the audience of every show, and the audience that has the biggest mosh pit and goes the craziest will end up maybe coming back to that city and doing a private show for everybody who says they were there in that crowd. So I'm thinking of ideas in my head on what to do. But yeah, so that's how Doom came about. You dig it? You dig the tune?
I do. I definitely. I've been listening this week, building up to this interview. I really enjoy it. It's got the catchiness to it. I like just the lyrics are just awesome. The way it kind of flows together, and the visuals with the music video, I really like. I'm a huge fan of like black and white. I'm a huge fan of the Twilight Zone, so I really like black and white like videos and stuff. So I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I shot that in my friend's kind of old eclectic home up in Auburn, New York, where all the old mansions are from the colonial days. So I thought that would be really cool, and just really kind of subtly show what can happen to you, if you have an addiction and stuff like that, and how it can be dark and lonely. And, I think we got the point across. And now we just got to get the radio people to call their local radio station and tell them they better be playing Doom, because you know how it is. You got to get through that one person's brain if they like it to go, so we just got to keep the push going, because I think it's definitely made for radio.
Oh no, it definitely is. It's got that modern rock sound to it, and it's got the catchy lyrics with it, and I do hope you get that radio push. I do hope people enjoy it and they call in, and you get airtime, because people definitely deserve to hear Doom.
That's the biggest challenge. You can have the greatest tunes, but if you can't get it past those radio people, then you're kind of screwed. So everybody call your station and let them know to play Doom.
Definitely. Please do that. And again, I like the message in Doom, as I said, like what you're talking about with the addiction. I definitely picked up on that listening to it. And again, it definitely shows you created a good atmosphere for the song. Just shows how you're lonely and kind of how depressing it can be. I did like at the end of the music video where it shows you with the gun in the mirror, but then like the other you like looks at the camera. I thought that was a cool scene.
And we just came up with that on the fly with that mirror up there, and Sam, the videographer, he just like, now you're gonna look here. We're gonna cut this. I'm like, oh, that'll be pretty badass right there. And it just I hope it hits home with people. And that, every song I write, I just want people to take the lyrics, listen to them, make sure it's clear, and my message is clear. And if I can touch a life, I can touch a life. That's the goal in any kind of art.
Oh, definitely, for sure. And I think you will with this song, Doom. And I did want to talk about, because you did mention it. So you did talk about Hellbilly Hollow. So you said you're currently shopping around for it. Can you give any hints of like what people can expect from Hellbilly Hollow?
Well, Hellbilly Hollow, it's about these two brothers, and I'm Bull with the one brother, and Kevin Wayne plays my other brother, whose name's Tickles, Timmy, but he goes by the nickname Tickles, and he's got that epic kind of mass look, and then I'm just a crazy psychotic nut job. And it's just it'll take you, we actually filmed it at the actual Hellbilly Hollow in Vincent, Alabama. And it'll just kind of take you on a journey of creating who these two characters are and how crazy nuts we are and how we interact as brothers. And because Tickles doesn't communicate, verbally. And I think you'll have a fun ride seeing all our creative kills and just how crazy my brain is. And we came up with all that on our own, and I own the franchise, and we'll continue to do more of them. And I really think, again, it's about getting it in front of people's faces. They're going to be tripping out and be like, oh my God. Because that movie led me into a movie I just shot in March with Lynn Shay from Insidious and Bill Moseley from The Devil's Rejects and all the Rob Zombie movies. I star alongside them in a movie called Scared to Death, which is going to be coming out here soon as well, that we just shot in March out in California. So, and I play a character in that movie called The Grog. And it's great. I'm an iconic horror actor, and I play him, and it's like playing me, and I'm the Grog. So more to come on the Grog.
Well, that sounds awesome, and I was not aware of that. So I'm looking forward to checking that out, because again, who you're working with that, that's gonna be amazing.
Look at Insidious. Lynn's movie Insidious just beat Indiana Jones at the box office a few weeks ago. So now we're coming out in this movie we all star in, and it's crazy. So I got 2 really big horror movies coming out, which will launch us into other stuff. So.
Oh, definitely. You have some great things in the works. I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. Being a horror movie fan, I'm definitely looking forward to both of those movies.
Yeah. You'll really enjoy it. And I like horror, but then you can laugh a little. You jump, where it's just not all just kill, and creativity. And they both offer that. So I'm really blessed to have been in both those, and I can't wait for people to see them and then see what Kurt Deimer can do as an actor, and go out and meet people at horror conventions and whatever it takes. I'll be there. So.
No, definitely right on. And I'm curious for you. So obviously you're an actor and a musician. Like, what's kind of the goals for you with both, acting and music?
Well, you only live once, and I don't need to do this. I have my own other companies. So my goal is to enjoy the rest of my life and play in arenas all over the world, live, rock shows, put on theatrical rock shows as we get to headline, and then just keep picking and choosing and creating movies that entertain people. And my whole goal is just to bring a smile to people's faces and have them dig my work and have them want to be part of the Kurt Deimer family, and show people you don't have to be afraid in this scary world. Just go out and live your dreams and do what you want to do. You only have one life, so go for it.
Yeah, you only have one life and one chance to really do stuff, and you shouldn't be doing stuff you don't like. You should be
Right.
pursuing your dreams and going for what you like, what makes you happy. Time is way too short to be miserable.
Yeah, it's the more you give, the more you get in life, and I want to give what I know. I've had all these crazy creative ideas in my brain my whole life. I suppressed them. Why hide them from the world? Because if 1% of the people in the world dig my music and they dig my movies, that's a lot of fucking people that I'm touching, in this population. And I'm not afraid of the world and what it has to offer, which is a lot of scary moments. And to have somebody that you can look up to and come out and rock out with, or go watch their movie or what. I just want to be kind of that rock for people, you know.
Oh no, for sure, definitely. And I do have to, as we're starting to close out this interview, I do got a few more things I did want to cover. And as I said in the intro, coming up soon, starting on August 31st, you're going out on tour with Skid Row and Buckcherry. How does it feel to be part of this awesome looking tour?
It's kick ass to see the gangs all here, and it's Buckcherry, Skid Row, and Kurt Deimer. That's pretty fucking cool. And we can't wait to get out on the road with them. We haven't even been touring 2 years as a band yet. So this September will mark 2 years. And to go from Jeff Tate to Yngwie Malmsteen to Drowning Pool to Tesla, now Buckcherry, Skid Row, and then October, as soon as we're done with a couple shows with Buckcherry in Montana, we head out with Mushroom Head. And we'll do that the whole month of October, the Halloween shows and all that. So. And I'll be playing the trailer to Hellbilly Hollow as we open up our set and all the shows. So it's pretty amazing, man. But yeah, I just can't wait to get more people to keep spreading the word, because we build new fans everywhere we play. And as soon as it keeps growing and we can start headlining, then we'll even do more epic shows when we're not on a time limit. So.
Oh no, right on. And so these upcoming shows for September and October, like what can people expect from your show in this time slot?
They can expect Kurt Deimer to come out on stage, and he's not the calm, chill dude when he's just hanging out before the show. And as soon as I hear that intro go, you can expect 30 to 40 minutes of hard kick-ass rock and roll like you've never heard before, because we're different. We're going to bring it. There's nothing slow in our set list that won't get you into it. And you'll hear 7-8 tunes that we can squeeze into that time frame and bring the energy like that'll blow your mind and be like, okay, this is one of my new favorite rock bands. So that's what our goal is every night.
All right on, and I hope you guys accomplish that every night. I think you guys will. You had a solid band behind you as well, so I hope the tour, in the September and October shows go well for you. So I'm curious, can you give any hints what the set list is going to look like for the upcoming shows?
Well, we've got a single we've been opening with this one song, and it'll come out as a single. It'll be on our debut double album next year, called The Dance. So you can expect to hear that. You can expect to hear Back of the School, Have a Cigar, our version of that. A little song we wrote about frontline workers and our troops called Hero. Crowd loves that. They also love What You Saying, which is on our debut EP, Work Hard, Rock Hard. We always like to close with a little Naive, which is pretty much about how everybody, just be aware of everybody around you and how they're out to get you. And a couple other ones that you haven't heard yet. And of course, Doom. So a few of them right there. So give you a little sneak peek.
All right on. That sounds like a very solid set list. So I'm curious for you, do you have a favorite song to perform live?
Favorite song to perform live? I always love when we do Have a Cigar, because it just trips people out. But I would say Have a Cigar and Naive are my two favorites, because I know Naive, we're closing out the set with it right now. That's, I don't know if that'll change, but I just love telling that story. It gets a lot of anger out of my brain, and I get to share it with the crowd, and it just slams. So, and I rap in the middle of that shit. So I love performing that song.
Oh, that's badass. That's awesome. So, for Have a Cigar, how many people have that reaction of I can't believe this is Have a Cigar? Do you get that nightly when you perform?
Yeah, because I kind of start out, kind of that talk singing thing, and then people were like, okay, I think I know this song. And then remember the name of the game, boy, you go, then all of a sudden people start singing along. Oh, it's Pink Floyd. It's just so surreal to watch the transformation of the crowd's face as we come into that tune, because we just start at boom, 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 and it's pretty wicked to watch and just see people's faces. And then if you might get some purists of Pink Floyd that are like, oh, he's just butchering the shit out of this. But if you don't like it, don't listen to it. But a lot of people just fucking dig it. So, because it's just in your face, and it's different.
Oh no, it definitely is very different. And there will be people who don't like it, but yeah, you have very good advice. They don't have to listen to it. They don't have to enjoy it. Not their thing. It's not their thing.
I don't like all the music out there, but I don't sit there and belittle people. I just don't listen to it. I move on. It's what world needs to be a little kinder.
Oh, 100% agree with that. Especially, just in person, internet, doesn't matter where it is. People show some compassion and kindness. The world will be definitely a better place.
Exactly.
So I do just got a few more things before close this interview out. So you were talking about, obviously, you have the upcoming shows at Skid Row, Buckcherry, and Mushroom Head in October. So what's kind of like the end of this year looking like and early 2024 looking like for you?
Well, November and December will be finishing the double album that's going to come out next year. It'll be our debut. We're going to be putting it on vinyl, cassettes, CDs, really launching it big time. It'll have probably 14 to 15 of the top Kurt Deimer songs on it, new ones and ones you might have heard. Just kind of, bringing the world aware of what we've got. And so we'll finish that. I'm going to shoot some music videos November, December, and then my booking agent's working on booking a headlining tour where we go back to some of the towns we've already been to and play 300 to 500 cap venues and start doing headlining shows. And then we're working on a big tour with a band everybody's heard of, I Can't Say Anything, which might take us all over the world, and it would be huge to get that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, man, but we're getting there. So that's the plan as far as music goes. And then I've got a couple other films in the works. So besides the ones coming out, so we'll keep acting and creating and get back out on the road in January.
Well, right on. So, as I said, you got some great things in the works. I look forward to seeing how the rest of this year and early 2024 goes for you as well. I'd love to see you live. Hopefully, I get that opportunity. Hopefully, at some point, it'd be awesome to meet you in person.
Yeah, what part of the country are you in?
I'm actually not terribly far from you. I'm from South Bend, Indiana.
Oh, we're going to be up in that area. So, are you near Hobart?
Yeah, about an hour from there.
Yeah, we're playing in Hobart. So, I think with Mushroom Head.
Okay, so, I saw the Mushroom Head show. I wasn't sure.
Anytime you want to come to a show, you just hit me up, man. We'll get you on the list, and we can do an interview there live too.
I have the equipment for it. I would definitely be interested in doing that.
We'll do it on the bus. That'd be cool.
I'm definitely in for it. So yeah, I know what show you're talking about. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That one, we might be near you with Buckcherry. We're going to be in Illinois, Moline, and Joliet. And so any show you want to come to, you just hit me up. Let me know, brother. You're always welcome.
I appreciate it, and I definitely will be making it out to at least one of those shows. So that's gonna be awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So last thing for the people watching and listening, where are the best places to find Kurt Deimer online?
Kurt Deimer online, just pretty much Google Kurt Deimer, Deimer. But follow us on Instagram, Twitter, X now, I guess, Facebook, the Kurt Deimer Fam Club on Facebook. Join that. It's just getting started. YouTube, you can find my videos and everything on our channel, Kurt Deimer. But everything's at Kurt Deimer. And our new website's been launched at kurtdeimer.com. And you can find us all those places. IMDb, you can check out my page there, films and stuff I've been in. And just pretty much Google Kurt Deimer. Pictures will come up, everything. So.
All right, on. I will make it slightly.
Follow us on Spotify and stream our music on anywhere you stream music. It's out.
Oh, no, right on. I will leave some links for Kurt Deimer in the description of this podcast as well. Please check out and support him. See him live when you can. And as I said, he's got a lot of great things in the works, so keep an eye out for all of that. Kurt, it was awesome to have you on the podcast. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
I really appreciate you having me, Matthew. We've only just begun, in the words of the Carpenters. And without folks like you, we can't grow all over the world. So thank you for all you do, and I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the kind words and everything. We have to build each other up. That's always my philosophy.
That's right, man. It's all about helping each other in life and waking up every day and making a difference. So all of you go out there and do that, and then check out Kurt Deimer chat with me anytime. I'm a man of the fans. I'll meet all of you after every show, and I can't wait. So thank you for having me, Matthew.
Of course. For Kurt Deimer, I'm your host as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching. Listen to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.
That's right. Frosty.